I'm Kerry-Anne Barber and I work at University. I first got involved with the TAPS programme 10 years ago at the very start of the programme and started as a teacher researcher, working with other teachers to develop some of the early focused assessment plans and also to gather work and ideas for the structure of the pyramid, particularly for the active pupils layer. So at the very start of the programme, we've sort of focused on our own practice to begin with and how we could improve that practice. And one of the early plans that I worked on was an electricity plan. I've always been very keen on making sure that science is relatable to the children and linked to real world science. So I had seen an article on BBC News about soldiers and having this new electrical conducting fibres in their uniforms. So we linked that to conductors, gave the children the scenario that they were soldiers, but somehow the circuitry had broken and they needed the circuitry to be complete to be able to access their GPS systems and to be able to send their coordinates back to base. I think as a school, we moved from that culture of writing up the whole investigation all the time to just having to do, yes, they were going through the whole investigative process, but just honing in on what they were evidencing. One particular child that I had in my class was really struggled. Thinking about my year 6 class, I really struggled with his writing and his reading. He was disallowed from the SATs because he wasn't anywhere near the levels to succeed in that. But I could tell that he had a real interest in science. He spent his own pocket money on a Venus flytrap plant. He was someone who never bothered with homework usually, but had worked really hard, stood up in the class and did a really coherent presentation on how this the Venus flytrap was adapted. And it was through giving him opportunities like this that he could really shine in science. And the result in him as a student as well was quite phenomenal, and the success that he achieved. As part of our PGCE programme, we have a session that focuses on assessment. So we always talk about TAPS, we share the website, and we encourage our teachers, or BSTs as we call them, to one of their tasks that they have to do is an assessment task, which is focused on a working scientifically focus. And we share the format for a TAPS plan. They can take a TAPS plan in its entirety and use that and carry out an assessment, or they can use the format of it for generating their own. And I think the students find, once they've been shown how to navigate the website, they find it really useful to have that clear focus of a TAPS plan, because it's so easy to adapt for their own concept that they're teaching about. One particular school I went into and we looked at the rocket mice project. We were lucky to be able to be given a few staff meetings. So initially I went in, talked to all the teachers about the TAPS, gave them some examples, but the whole school then took on the rocket mice challenge. And from, it was a Key Stage 2 school, so it was from year 3 up to year 6. Each class took a different element of the focus for recording, but they all did the rocket mice challenge. And then we went back a second staff meeting and laid all the children's work out. So laid it from year 3 up to year 6 so that we could really look at the progression through the focus. And that was really valuable and something that I think is really useful to do within your schools in terms of the whole school moderating exercise.